this episode, we'll have a look at how I make the big negative hexagons for my English paper piecing project. John's going to cut them out for me in the Black Grunge, which should be nice. And my knitting is sort of come to a halt, but the cardigan is up to the sleeves. And the Tour of France is starting, which is 3 weeks of nice TV watching for me. I tape it and I can just edit out all the ads. So it's all good. I have been in a hospital for a while, but out for 3 weeks. And so I thought I'd get an episode in now. So yeah, let's see how we go today. I am at the junction and going to have a look at Kmart. So I'll see you when I get home. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, mainly about quilting, sometimes about knitting and other things that are going on, like the tour. Hope you like what you see, and I hope it's helpful. If you need any help with any of the things that I do, please leave a comment. I love to hear where you're from, and it's so exciting to hear where people from all over the world, so please leave a comment and let me know where you're from and what the weather's like there and everything. So yeah. First we're going to have a look at the equipment needed, and then John's going to cut them out for me because I've got a sore wrist. So this is how I'm going to proceed with cutting the black templates, and we'll see how we go. Sewing table I've got, well, it's my dining room table, and it's a drop leaf and half of it's folded up, so, but I have got my green mat on it. I've got 2 meters of black grunge, a big ruler, my green ruler, this very nifty template that John made for me, and you don't have to buy any particular special stuff to make this. He bought a folder at Officeworks for $2.50, and he used the cover of it, and it's a perfectly good template and you can see through it. This is a 4-inch template with 3/8 seam allowance all around. Got a square template, and these are the papers that the fabric is going to be hemmed onto for English paper piecing. And trusty little rotary cutter, and I think this is a titanium blade. Change the blade and it works like a dream. So we decided we could get six hexagons going the width of fabric, and how many going lengthways we're not sure yet.
6/8 to 48, so
hoping to get 48, maybe more, but at this stage 48 plain black hexagons that I will have to tack the fabric onto, and I'll show you how I do that. And guess who's just arrived? Kitty Levine. Then you're going to have to jump off. You can't sit in the middle of this. Yeah, sitting in the middle of it all. She likes sitting at the back of the table, so hopefully she'll blow through in a minute. Kitty! Vinny! Hi, gorgeous cat. Anyway, she won't be in the cutting thing because tails flap around a fair bit. So this is, the template measures 8 inches from tip to tip.
And 7 inches across.
And 7 inches that way. So now we'll put it on the fabric and see. So the fabric is folded on the, across the, lengthways. And he's going to cut strips and then cut the hexagons out, which is the simplest way to do it, we're thinking. I used to cut 1-inch hexagons this way too, and I think I used to get 13 across. I have a lot of hexagons cut in boxes that I'm thinking I'm going to sell one day because I've got millions and I just won't ever use them, and I'm sure there's somebody else that would love them. I love this Black Grunge. I think grunge is a beautiful range of fabric, moda. And Cozy, I think it's a Cozy Quilt company. Julie sells it online, but I will put the info in the description box of where I got it. I also got the blue there for the flying geese. Such a nice and helpful person, and very good delivery. So John's cut half and now he's going to cut the hexagons. This is the salvage info. 100% cotton, beautiful. So now John's going to layer the strips on top of each other and just, how many layers would you cut through at a time? 6?
I'll do 4.
4.
Because there's 8 rows.
Yep.
Make sure the same salvage is up.
Yeah. Salvage on the same sides.
One salvage is a bit wider than the other.
I used to have a rotary cutter that was motorized, and it was called a chickadee, and oh, it used to breeze through fabric. It was so good. I think the motor wore out. It was second hand, so
I couldn't get the blades.
I was just going to cut the salvage off to start with.
And this one's 7 inches because it's the other way on the diamond, the hexagon.
Doing it this way?
Yeah.
Great.
So you get more out of it this way.
Yeah. So he's going to cut squares first, and then he's just going to trim the corners off. And with the plastic template, he will put the thicker plastic, the ruler on top of it, and just rotary cut them. While John's cutting, I've been trying out different ways to feel cooler in summer, or even winter too, because my head gets very hot, and I've got all these beautiful scarves. And I've been watching Death in Paradise, if you watch it, and the lady there who's in charge of I think she's got a bar, wears her beautiful scarves just like a headband. And I'm thinking, I'd really like to do that too, and it sort of lightens my face up too. And I'm thinking, well, I should try this. And so I've got my hair plaited sort of in a braid round. Granddaughter did it. I've got these little plaits and they're tucked in, and it looks really neat, I think. Does anyone else love scarves as much as me? And so this is how he's trimming the corners for perfection. So he's put the heavier ruler on top of the template and trimming the corners off. I know there's some wastage in this, but it's minimal. And the bigger pieces, they're not that big. They're like 1/2 inch max at the widest. I'm so lucky John likes cutting. He was a professional cutter before he retired. So he does everything, you know, to the best advantage of the fabric and everything. Makes, what I really like is he does like to get it perfect, and you know, I like perfect. I think we all sort of strive for that. I mean, it's not actually perfect, but in my mind it is. And so yeah, there we have it. And now all I will have to do is tack that onto the paper templates. Thank you, John. This is going to give me 48 hexes to start with. I think that should be enough because it's for the medallion, so I will do these 48 and then we'll see how we go from there. I love watching the tour every year, and here's my tour book for this year. So exciting, and it has maps and everything for every day, cities they go through. Oh, just so exciting. I've been collecting these books for about 10 years now, and they used to, sorry about my fingers, they used to have big maps, big wall maps, but now they just have the small maps. But very nice book to keep as a souvenir. Oh, I love watching the tour. What I do is I tape it because it's very late at night. It goes till about 2 a.m. So I tape it and I watch it the next morning from about 5:30, and I can just skip through the ads and just watch the tour, and it's so neat. And the beautiful buildings in Europe, they're just so beautiful, so different to what we have here in Australia, because nothing is built before 250 years ago. So we have no big cathedrals that go back 1,000 years or anything. It's just so amazing to see the architecture. So beautiful. And I do love seeing the guys ride around. So yeah, that's the tour for 2025 for me. Just going to show you where I'm up to now and how I'm going to connect the fabric hexagons to my paper template. This is the fabric template, and these nice little package of papers are from the book cover. I'm going to take one of my hexagons, that there, and I'm going to pin it in the middle so that it won't move and it will connect everything. And I'm going to get some of these little dog clips and start off with it. So turn one edge and the dog clip on. Pin goes all the way through. It's really good to do it this way if you've got a big surface to cover. I don't like using glue, so I pin and tack. But that is mostly all the security I need. I might put another couple of pins in, I think, just because it's such a big area. So 3 pins and a dog clip. All those little plastic clips work just the same. Got my Gutermann's quilting thread with a nice long piece with a knot in the end. And I'm going to start in the middle. I do like using photocopy paper also because it's bendable and easy to work with. And my fingers have arthritis, so everything helps. And then I do a mitered corner. And continue all the way around, a few stitches on each side. It's like wrapping a parcel. And sometimes I do a back stitch if I haven't secured the miter. Put it down to make sure that I haven't bent the paper or anything. Continue on. Come to the other corner. And you can see it doesn't really need glue, although some people do like to use glue, and I'm against that. Well, I think it's just easier to do English paper piecing with a thread, and then you just undo the thread. And there's 6 corners. I'll do another back stitch there. It's easy to hold it up off the table and stitch. Nearly back to the beginning. I'm always surprised at how much thread a big hexagon takes. I want to be really sure that I haven't bent the paper. And that's a good thing with a 3/8 seam allowance also. There is room to move the template around before you make the final stitch. You can go back a few stitches if you're not happy with it. And that's 1 hexagon. Just take a back stitch. And there it is. Ready to whip stitch into the coloured pieces for the medallion quilt. So easy to do. There are quite a lot to do, and I doubt that I will get them done anytime soon, but I do want to get a few done so that I can show you how they look all together. Very happy with it. I said before I like perfect, but that's not quite true. Perfect is good, but accurate is more important, I think, especially when you're doing shapes that are small or big and they need to be connected to other pieces. I think accuracy in the template and cutting is very important in English paper piecing. Before I am ready to attach these big hexagons, I have to iron them. I don't have to iron them, but I want to iron them. I iron all the pieces before I connect them, and it's just to make the edges crisp. So I don't even need to put water in the iron, just need to make sure the edges are nice and the corners are well pressed. And that makes a really nice flat surface and everything is great. So I'm going to iron these next few and then I might leave it for a while. Knitting. How's my knitting coming along? slowly. As you know, I've been knitting my Corran cardigan for myself this time, and Golden Knob. I do love this color. I mean, and yeah, we did have a mishap with it in the previous steeking business. That has all passed, friends, and now I decided to knit a Corran that will fit me. So I'm using 5mm needles on DK. Show you what I'm up to. So I am up to the sleeves. I did a 3 needle bind off on the shoulders. Got the front done. I'm doing the neck at the moment on smaller needles, and so you can see I am well on the way to having a nice cardigan. I think it's going to be a little big, but I don't mind. And I am looking for some clear glass buttons, maybe vintage, for this one. I did knit the button band at the same time as a cardigan because I just didn't want to have to knit 1.5 meters or so of 10 stitches of ribbing. So that's what I'm up to. I think it's coming on really nicely. It's the front and the back. Stitches are really even, although because I think I'm doing it on a big needle, I do love the lacy pattern, and I think I've actually memorized the lacy pattern of 4 stitches, 4 rows, 4 stitches, 4 rows. It's a really nice easy lace pattern, and I have had a lot of bother with it in the past, but I think I've figured out where I went wrong. So that's the knitting update. I don't think I'll get this cardigan finished until I am heading for a big operation at the end of the month. And so I'm home at the moment, building up muscle and positive vibes. So I thought I would get an episode in before. Maybe I will do another one too, because I do love doing content for my videos. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, love. Oh dear, I do love John Arbon yarn, and you know it's not scratchy. I can wear it on my arms. I usually have a neckline that comes down about the same as my t-shirts, and yeah, I usually wear 3/4 sleeves. I am hoping to have long sleeves on this one. I hope I have enough wool, and I'm sure I do, because I bought 2 more skeins after the fiasco. If you know what I'm talking about, or if you don't, have a look at a few episodes before this and you'll see what happened. I was very positive. I do like steeking, but yeah. Okay, so that is my knitting. This week I'm going to try and do some hand quilting on this beautiful quilt that I've got ready to hand quilt. It's all pinned up and has the binding on. I love it. I think the colours in this is just beautiful, and I want to hand quilt it. It's not a massive big quilt, but it is gorgeous. So I'm going to show you how I hand quilt with big stitches in my lap. I have done this a few times, you know, but it's so fun. And everybody needs to know how to do big stitching, because basically it's just running stitches with beautiful threads that hold 3 layers together and, you know, give definition to a beautiful quilt. I love these quilts because they are this quilt size, because they are great for gifts. You know, if somebody needs a gift, maybe an adult or something, but you know, just beautiful. And it's great for showcasing fabrics that you've only got a small piece left of. So we'll see how this goes today. I'm hoping to get started. So in this episode, how to start hand quilting a quilt. So I'm going to start hand quilting this, in my opinion, beautiful quilt. It's a block that we made a few episodes back. I called it a courthouse step, but it's a modified type of courthouse step with big pieces. So three small rectangles, squares, and two long rectangles. Goodness. And this time, instead of using the narrow sticky tape, I'm using 2-inch wide sticky tape. So I'm going to have wider quilting, which could be exciting because I've never done this before. And I'm thinking, wow. And you can see I'm using my big stitches. And I'm quilting in my lap. It's all bunched up. I do love hand quilting. I have this quilt all bunched in my lap, as you can see, and this is how I usually quilt. I like it all in my lap. I don't have a frame or a hoop, and it's nice and compact. And yeah, I just like it, and especially in winter, now that I can quilt in winter, the quilt is nice and warm also. And so, as I said, I'm going to quilt it with 2-inch wide sticky tape this time, but I'm not sure that I'll continue using the sticky tape because it does tend to come unstuck. So I might use my chalk marker for the darker blocks. This is a center block that I'm starting with, and I've got a lot of pins, as you can see, and I pin every 3 inches, I would say, all over a quilt. It does take a bit of time, but it is worth it. It's like tacking. So I'll show you how I do a few stitches, especially in my lap. And with my right hand, because I'm left-handed, I hold the quilt underneath so that I have a nice surface. And I usually only take a couple of stitches at a time, and when there's a few layers, it takes a little effort to push the needle through. But you can see that especially with the black thread on this black block, I think it's going to look really nice. You can see the big stitches, and yeah, this is how I hand quilt, with big stitches, with Purl cottons, Valdani. At the moment I'm using, well, this is a DMC. I do like DMC too. And the black is beautiful. So I know this is going to take a while, and I probably won't get it done this month, the quilting, but there is like another 6 or 8 weeks of winter left, so hopefully we will make progress. And it feels so nice to hand quilt. I can feel the needle rocking underneath, and I can feel the layers of batting and fabric, and I can see the beautiful fabrics that I've used. And yeah, I just think this is a lovely craft to do. This is sort of an update on the quilting for this quilt. I think I'm going to quilt some circles, and I'll just move it round. Oh, overlap them, have circles in the circles. Yeah, just some gridding and circles. I know that says trip around the world, but they were my templates, quilting templates for a trip around the world. I think I might use them here. They're just calico and perfect circles, and I just pin them on and sew around them. I decided to go with some of the circles, so I'm quilting around it. It's very easy to quilt around it because it's soft and pliable. I can move it very easily with my hand, nearly to the end. I'll take it off when I've finished and I'll show you how the quilting looks. I'm now going to take the pins out. Pins act as tacking, but easier to take out. Last one. Now for the surprise. Voila. A perfect circle. With coloured threads. I think it's really neat. So I'm going to do a smaller one in a few different places on this block. And yeah, so half of them will be grid and half will be circles. Still big stitch quilting. I really do love this variegated thread. Oops. It's really pretty with the yellows and the reds and blues, purples. Really nice. So yeah. Let me know what you think about quilting in a circle or quilting with templates, quilting around templates that you've made yourself. You can have them in any shape really, and so easy to sew around, so easy to make. It's endless what you can do. Quilting circles is so fun, and you can see I've done some inlay into the small circle, but with the big circles where they overlap, I think it's very exciting because you can quilt in the lozenge shape, and that's one of them. It's just so fun to have circles and do the parts in between. So yeah, that's this block. This is a corner block. I thought it needed a bit more quilting. So I really like how that's turned out, and the lines are not directly, you know, like to form a cross. They're sort of like off-centered. I really like it. So yeah, quilting circles is just as fun as quilting in a grid. That's a wrap up for this episode, friends. Thank you for joining me. If you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. I do love hand quilting, English paper piecing, foundation paper piecing, patchwork, scrappy quilts is what I make. And I do love talking about knitting too. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yes, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. And thank you so much. Also, welcome to my new subscribers and my old returning friends. So nice to see you, and hope to see you next time. Bye, friends.